In this lecture, let's see how to find the solutions of the system. The first equation is 3x squared plus 2y squared equals 14. The second one is x minus y equals -3. You can see the second one is a linear equation, but the first one contains x squared, y squared. So the first one is not linear. Okay, let's see the observation right here. If we plus y on both sides, then basically what we get is left hand side is x, and then those two are cancelled. The right hand side is y minus 3. Since we have x equals y minus 3, then we can basically do is we replace this x with y minus 3, then upstairs only contains its variable y. Then we can solve for y first. That's the strategy. So then we will have a 3 times x. X is y minus 3 squared plus 2y squared equals 14. Remember down here is that we have a y minus 3 squared, and that's what? That's actually y minus 3 times y minus 3. So we have to use FOIL method. Okay? Yeah, we have to use FOIL method. With the FOIL method, then what we get is, you see, that will be what? Let me write. Y times y is y squared. -3, y times -3 is -3y. Inner product, -3 times y is -3y. And the last product is -3 times -3. Okay, so you have -3 squared. Alright, now basically, you can combine those two terms. So what we get will be 3 was there, and then you will have a y squared minus 6y. You combine those two, and then plus 9. Okay, now, and then we are done with y minus 3 squared. You want to do is you put 2y squared there equals 14. You see 14, 14, 2y squared, 3, 3, and the red part tells us y minus 3 squared is the one right here. Okay, and then you got to do is by distributive property. Now we will have a 3y squared. 3 times -6 is 18 negative y, and then plus 27 plus 2y squared equals 14. Alright, now look, right here we have a 2y squared and 3y squared. We want to combine it, and both sides needs to be subtract 14. Okay, So in this way, we can do is we cancel that, and then we move negative 14 to the left. Okay, so 3y squared, 2y squared is 5y squared, and then minus 18y. 27 minus 14 is positive 13 equals 0. So we go to factor this one. To factor this one, it needs some technique. Let me rewrite the equation up to here. Okay, that will be 5y squared minus 18y, and then plus 13 equals 0. You know, if here was 1, then basically we do is we can just split this 13 into negative 13 and the negative 1. Because we know negative 13 times negative 1 is going to be positive 13. But down here you have a 5 there. You also need to split 5. Okay? So 5 can be splitted as 5 and 1. Okay? Now you want to do is after you split, you got to check. How to check is basically like this. You want to see 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. And the negative 13 times 1 is negative 13. If you add those two together, is negative 18. And which is the one right here, then you know you did the correct splitting. Okay. Now then we can write will be what? Will be 5y minus 13. 5y minus 13, and then y minus 1. Y minus 1. 1 times y minus 1 is actually y minus 1. So it is 0. You see, when you do the FOIL method, it should come back to there. Okay? So basically you can see down here, if you want to check, that will be what? You see 1 times 5 times 1, there is a 1 here, okay? So 5 times 1 is 5, and then y squared. Y times y is y squared. So basically when you split, the first one is a first product, okay? The outer product is actually 5 times negative 1, you see? 5 times negative 1. Okay? And then the inner product is actually negative 13 times y. That's negative 13 times y. Okay? And then the last product is what? Is negative 13 times 1. Negative 13 times 1. So this one is actually the last product, and this splitting is the first product, and the cross multiplication is outer and inner product. Alright, now keep going. You have a 5y minus 13 equals 0, and another one is y minus 1 equals 0. Okay? And then you do is both sides plus 13. And then you cancel that, positive, negative. So what we get is 5y on the left, and then 13 plus 0 is still 13. Okay, and then you divide it by 5. So you then have 5 divided by 5 is 1, times y is 1 times y, that's y. So you have a y equals 13 over 5. First one. The second one is relatively easier. You plus 1 on both sides. Then you do the consolation on the left. So you then have 1 stands alone on the left. Right hand side is 0 plus 1, which gives us 1. Now look, y is what? Y is this number. Look at this one again. So we do is we want to plug in right here. We want to plug in right here. So what do we get? We get x equals 13 over 5 minus 3 when you plug in this one there. How to add those two together? You see, both numerator and denominator multiplied by 5. You know, downstairs 3 is actually 3 over 1. Huh? So then you can do is 13 minus 15. 3 times 5 is 15. So you have a negative 2 upstairs. Downstairs is just 5. Now the second one. The second one is x equals 1 minus 3. You see, you plug in 1 right here, 1 minus 3. This gives us what? Negative 2. Okay, so the solutions you may write as the solutions are what? Two things, two pairs. One is x equals negative 2 over 5, and that's from 13 over 5. Another one is x equals negative 2, and that's when x equals 1. That's when y equals 1. So y is 1, x is negative 2. Okay? So you have negative 2, 1, and negative 2 over 5, and then 13 over 5. They are two pairs. Okay? So I'll see you next time.